Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A, so let's get started with the very first question from MadZZ1074. When talking about all these bags on your Minks Monday, does it ever or has it ever made you consider purchasing one? Absolutely. There's so many bags that come on my radar because of Minks Monday, and had it not been for Minks Monday, I don't think I would have purchased the Artsy because if you go to my very first few videos, I didn't really care for the bag. There was something about it. I knew that there was something appealing about it, but not for me. And the more and more we talked about it here on Minks Monday, the more and more I fell in love with it until I finally purchased it. So yes, absolutely. Okay, Angela Graham. I'm about to purchase the 6-key holder case in Monogram. I love the rose Ballerine interior, but do you think the color will show any key residue, dirt, or scratching? Would you recommend the rose Ballerine interior? Well, I personally prefer either the Damier Ben or the Monogram canvases without any of the colored interiors because, yes, I do believe that it will show some kind of residue over time. Maybe not at first, but keys in general tend to be, I mean, they're pretty dirty. So I'm always afraid that, the key residue will show up on certain pieces. And I think because rose Ballerine is such a light color that I do think it will show up. However, it all depends upon how you care for your items. I mean, I know some people that have bought the rose Ballerine with the Monogram canvas, and it is to die for. It is gorgeous. I am definitely feeling the rose Ballerine, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But then again, like I said, it worries me because I do feel that it would show color. But at the same time, a color that beautiful, there's a part of me that's just like, who cares? Because obviously you guys know I purchased the OnFront clay, and the color is not forgiving because it does show some wear, and I will get into that in just a second. And I still think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful contrast. So if you want it, if it's something that you've had your heart set on, I say go for it. And then, you could always wipe off the interior over time if you end up seeing any dirt or anything like that. So it's all a matter of what makes your heart sing. And I have a feeling the rose Bellarine would make your heart sing. Okay, Karen H. How do you feel about the rose Bellarine versus the rose Angelique? Which one do you prefer? I personally prefer the rose Bellarine because I feel that it has, the undertone still has that pink undertone, whereas the rose Angelique has a very, it's almost like a shimmery white undertone. So between the two, obviously the Angelique is a lot lighter than the rose Ballerine. I don't know, that rose Ballerine and the Dahlia, those two pinks are just, they're, I don't know what it is about them. Well, obviously I like pink, but the rose Ballerine for me is out of those two colors, the one that I would go for. I just feel that it has that it's a little deeper of a pink, but a baby pink, if that makes any sense. So it's not like the magenta pink that you would go for, but I like it. I love it. Okay, Ariel Sanchez. 2 questions for you this time. Number 1, is there any way to reverse the slouchiness on one side of the GST? Now, I have heard this a few times, and I have looked on a few different forums even before this question, and some people have said that if you just stuff it and leave it stuffed for a while, just sitting on the shelf or wherever it is that you store it, that might bring the bag back to life as far as the slouchiness. And others have said that it's pretty much, it's leather, it's going to do what it's going to do, especially because over time it will age. So I personally have not had any problems with the slouchiness, but I always try to stuff my GSTs as much as possible. So try that out first, see if that works for you, and hopefully it will be able to reverse it. But like I said, I've heard both spectrums on it's irreversible and it is reversible. So let's just try it. Let's try it out and let me know if it works out for you. Okay, and number 2, is there any reason for consignment shops, example, I'm not going to say the store, you guys already know what store it is online, charging more than retail for a bag that has quite a few signs of wear? There are a few online consignment shops that are that tend to sell their goods for a lot more than the retail price at stores, even with the wear and tear that they have. And the only thing that I can think of is if it's something that's extremely popular, such as the Chanel wallet on chain or the Walk. That the Walk is very difficult to find if you're looking for a specific combination. And on some of these consignment shops, they end up charging, I think I paid for my Walk $2,100 plus tax. And I think I saw one on a shop for $27, I think, and it had quite a bit of wear. But like I said, I think it's because they're hard to find pieces, and especially if they are either in high demand or if they're extremely popular. So sometimes the Neverfulls, the Speedies, depending upon the Speedies, some of the limited edition Speedies that you can no longer get, those will tend to have higher price tags because of their scarcity. So I think that's my reasoning behind it. Hopefully that's the reason why. But I know sometimes it's I don't know, you look at the things online and you're just like, oh, this is perfect, this is exactly what I want, but yet you don't want to pay that much more extra for it. But it's all a matter of how badly you want that piece, because some people will pay it, obviously, because these companies are in business, and some of these companies are fantastic. So like I said, it's just the scarcity and how popular these items are. Okay, Deanne Hiramoto, I'm so sorry. I have a quick question about your new OnFront clay and how it will color transfer. Do you think the red lining of a Ben bags will transfer? Absolutely, I do. As you guys know, I had a cosmetic case that I put inside of my Speedy Damier Ben, and I know I've talked about this a bunch, but the corners did end up color transferring. And here is the OnFront clay. I am still using it as a wallet. I have been using it non-stop since I purchased it. And I will be honest with you guys, it did show a little bit of dirt wear and stuff like that, but I had it in a Damier Azur purse, or I've had it in a Damier Azur handbag this entire time, so I haven't had any problems with color transfer whatsoever. But it does tend to get dirty pretty quickly, depending upon how you wear it. But I do think that this will show color transfer if it is in a Damier Ben bag. Absolutely. I don't know if it's because I'm so nervous now because of what happened to me in the past, but yeah, I do think so. So be careful. Okay, next question. Heather Page. I've been thinking about getting the Pochette Accessoire NM in Damier Ben. My question is, do you think the treated leather will crack? I don't think so. And I know that Damier Ben is notorious for the cracking of the leather, but at the same time, I think because it's a smaller bag and it doesn't open up as much, if that makes any sense. It's kind of, I don't know, like the Neverfull tends to, wrinkle around the top, and because, like I said, the movement that you create when you're using it, maybe that's why. But I don't think that the leather will crack on a on a Pochette Accessoire. I think it might be a little bit, if it does, it'll happen way, way in the future because it is a smaller bag. So I don't think it's too much of an interaction with it in order to create that, if that makes any sense. Okay. CC Mel's. Are you ever afraid of someone breaking into your house and taking your goodies? I'm super paranoid. I'm a super paranoid person, and I would be so heartbroken. Well, am I ever afraid of someone breaking into my house? I don't really want to think. I don't try to think about that because in the past, I have been a major, major worrywart, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, you can't worry about something that hasn't happened because then it's just pretty much putting a toll on your mental state. But I would be more worried about my family. If we were in the house, or even if I wasn't in the house and I had loved ones in the house, I would be more afraid of anything happening to them versus my handbags or my goodies or anything like that, because all of this is replaceable. My family isn't, so that would be my number one priority. But no, I try not to think about it. But we do have security systems, so I try to prevent it. Okay, life's little luxuries. 2 questions. Number 1, what are your thoughts on the artsy OnFront? Okay, well, since I'm a huge fan of the OnFront artsy, or the canvas artsy in itself, the OnFront artsy, I am obsessed with. And when we were in Paris at the Champs-Élysées at Louis Vuitton, I actually got to hold the noir OnFront, and it was just incredible. It smells so fantastic. It looks fantastic. It is a little bit on the heavier side for me for a preference of a bag, but it is, I just, I think it's gorgeous. OnFront is just fantastic. I'm in love. So yes, I like it. Number 2, I'm thinking about getting the Alma BB. Would you say it holds as much as the Eva or the Pochette accessoire NM? Absolutely. There's been a few YouTubers who have done videos on their Alma BBs, and it's crazy how much they fit inside of that bag. It's like some of these bags are, like I've said before, are so deceiving, because you'd think that you could probably just fit a clay in there, but you can fit so much. And I honestly think that the Alma BB fits more than the Eva clutch, definitely, and the Pochette accessoire together. So it holds quite a bit. So yes. Okay, Karen, what are your thoughts on the Chanel brooches? Would you add one to your collection? Absolutely, I would. I would probably get the silver tone with the Strass crystals on it, just because that way I can put it with any outfit that I'm wearing. And considering my mom has such a massive brooch and pin collection, you would think that I would I would have some kind of brooches. I have 2, but I would love to add a Chanel brooch. And I should be heading to Chanel probably within the next month or 2, and I'm just gonna browse around, and who knows, maybe I'll pick one up. Okay, Bianca D, any thoughts on the Tom Ford handbags? No, not really. I've looked them up once, I think, and it's only because one of my girlfriends had one. I'm not really a big fan of them. I think Tom Ford is better, in my opinion, for sunglasses and makeup. Is that bad? That's bad. But I don't know. I don't find any of the handbags appealing whatsoever. Okay, Joel Art Pop, what do you think of the Dora MM? I've never had a structured bag or one without a crossbody strap. The Dora MM, there's a few different combinations that you can get, but the one that I saw retailed starting at $3,550 here in the States, and it doesn't have a like they said, it doesn't have a crossbody strap, but the handles, I guess, are adjustable. You can take them off, and it's very different. It's extremely structured, and I don't know. I feel that it's somewhat appealing when I first see it, but if I was to carry it, because of the way that the handles are, I feel that it might be uncomfortable. It wouldn't be as, as wonderful to wear on the crook of your arm or just regular hand carry. So I'd have to say I'm not a big fan of it. There's something, though. There is something that I like. Maybe it's the fact of the leather. The way that the leather looks, looks incredible. But as far as the overall characteristics of the bag, I'm not digging it. No, not whatsoever. Okay, A.K. Komorowski. I wanted to know your thoughts on the Chanel boy bag. Would it be something you would consider buying? So in the past, I told you guys that at first I fell in love with the Chanel boy bag. Then I tried it on, and because of my frame and because of my front yard here, it ends up being too short on my body frame, and I feel like it looks kind of funky. It looks weird on me. But when I see it on everyone else, I absolutely love it. I just don't like it on me. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have been on the website, on the Chanel website, for the last week, just looking at all the boy bags. So even though I said, like I said, at first I liked it, then I didn't like it, and now it's kind of just turned around and made me want to fall in love with it again. So I've been thinking about it. So I don't know. I really like it. And would I consider buying it? I think so. Okay. And next question from Melissa Bailey. How often does canvas crack and what can I do to prevent it from cracking? Okay, so canvas tends to crack. I'm sorry, my voice totally changed there for a second. Canvas tends to crack if it's, in my opinion, if it's more not cared for when it's stored and depending upon the humidity as well. And sometimes the canvas takes, I mean, years and years to crack. There's also times that canvas just in general just stays immaculate from the minute you purchase it. There's a lot of vintage bags that I've seen that are 20, 30, or not 30 years old, 25 years old, 20 to 25 years old, and they still look fantastic. The canvas still looks great. So I think it's mostly a matter of how it's stored. If it's someone that tends to fold it back the way that it's normally supposed to be, I feel that adds a lot of straining onto the canvas, that more so than you should add to it. So I always say don't store it flat the way that they come. Always try to puff them up and put air paper in them or a pillow or something so that it keeps its structure. So I would have to say storage number 1 is the main culprit of cracking canvas. And number 2 might be obviously carelessness. So that would be another one. But like I said, I've seen some pieces that have been, I mean, a million years old and they still look fantastic. And I've only seen a few that end up cracking, and it's mostly because, especially when you look on the inside, they're all dingy and nasty looking. So that leads me to believe that the person did not care for the bag. Yeah, because we all know we're all pretty much freaks when it comes to keeping our bags clean. Okay. Model S. I recently bought a pre-loved toiletry 26 and I'm loving it, but I don't know how to store it. It didn't come with a dust bag. What do you suggest? Why didn't it come with a dust bag? That's weird. I think, as I said before, I think as long as you stuff it so that it keeps its structure, because it is a little bit of a larger piece, until you can get to the store and let them know that you did not get a dust bag. Trust me, they will be more than happy to give you a dust bag for it, especially because of the lining on the inside. You don't want it to get any of the humidity or anything like that. So dust bag is always very vital especially for toiletry cases, in my opinion. But in the meantime, what if you put? I'm trying to think. Maybe if you had a dust bag from any other brand, any other dust bag that you can find, or if you can put, what is it called? Felt around it helps. And I've also seen some people that have made like little makeshift dust bags out of t-shirts, because they're all cotton. So cotton is obviously very good for it, so you should be fine. But I would advise you to go to the store and get a dust bag for it. Okay. Cat Lux Love 8811. What do you think about the Locket PM? Do you think it's a little better to spend? Do you think it's a little better to spend a little extra and get a Chanel Le Boy? I would like a larger bag since I have too many small medium ones. Is it true a nano version of the Locket is coming out soon? Okay, so the Chanel Le Boy bag, depending upon which one you get, if you get the medium or the new medium or the small, they're all relatively small bags. So if you already have small and medium ones, I think the Locket would be a great option for you to go towards. I personally am not too big of a fan on it because of its slouchiness, but it is extremely appealing. And I mean the leather on the Locket is just extremely soft, and I think like I said, I think it would be a different spin on it. And yeah, it's a bigger bag, so you could fit quite a bit in there. And as far as is it true a nano version of the Locket is coming out soon? Yes, it is. And it is now I'm talking about the Locket with the all soft leather, not the canvas. But yes, the I saw a tiny little nano version of it. It is like this big. It is so freaking cute, but super expensive. And yeah, I'm not a fan of the nanos, but yeah, they are coming out. And like I said, I think it's a good, it's a different kind of bag to go from what you already have in your collection. Okay, next question. Jazz 1974. I recently bought a Monogram Speedy B 30. I noticed that the canvas is much thinner than my 2-year-old Speedy 25. My essay said that they changed the canvas to be thinner, but it's better quality than my older one. What are your thoughts? Okay, so I would have to agree. My Mon Mono is the new style of Speedies, and it feels somewhat thinner, but at the same time, I feel that the canvas is pretty thick. My Speedy 35 that I had, my Monogram, I bought, oh my goodness, I think it was like 4 years ago. Even though I had since sold it. To me, the canvas seemed very, very thin, and I felt that the newer canvas is a lot better. So I think they might have lightened the canvas altogether, but I think it'll definitely last a lot longer, because I know some people were having problems with the canvas cracking, or with, what's it called? The varnishing having problems because of the canvas. So I feel that it is lighter, but it is a lot more durable. So I do think it's better quality, definitely, than the previous ones, because there was a few years there where some of the Speedies that were coming out, or mostly the Speedies that were coming out, they were just, the quality was not there. So yes, I feel that they've definitely revamped them for the better. Okay, last question. Tara Harders. I'm getting married in February 2016. Congratulations. I wish you and your fiance all the happiness in all the world. And just wondering what advice you would give to someone who is about to be married or a newlywed. Okay, so my hubby and I have been married, it'll be, I always kind of mix it up. Shh, don't tell him. Let's see, we got married in 2007. So we will be married 8 years this year, but we've been together for quite some time. And I think communication is key, definitely. Since the beginning, we were always very, very open with each other. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes when you first go to living with someone and getting to know them, you're still trying to figure out all their quirks. So you're not going to find out all their quirks if you didn't live with them before, or if you didn't, if you did live with them before, it's a little bit different. Things start to come up that you wouldn't have seen before. And you cannot sweat the small stuff. And the reason I say that is because in the beginning, when we were married, we were still getting pretty much used to one another, even though we dated for quite some time. And things like that. And we lived together before we got married. So it wasn't, like I said, little quirks start to come up that you didn't see there before. And you cannot let the small stuff, you cannot sweat it. Because number one, you're going to be wasting so much time if you end up fighting about the small things that don't matter, when really all that matters, especially if you're a newlywed, is spending time with your significant other, because you want to be able to have a good time, have a great day, and go out on dates or do whatever it is that you do without having to worry about, oh, well, you left the dishes in the sink or stuff like that. But at the same time, always communicate, and try not to, you can't, I'm not getting stumped, because I'm remembering how we were when we first got married, and there were things that came up that now I just look back, I'm just like, why did we even fight about that? Why did we even argue about that? You're gonna argue. I mean, people that I know argue anyways. And it's going to happen. It doesn't matter, but I would say don't sweat the small stuff. Communication 100% is something that is very important in a marriage, in any relationship. And don't be afraid to voice your opinion. I'm not saying you have to be a jerk. Don't be a jerk by any means whatsoever, because you love this person and you don't want to hurt their feelings, but you also want to let them know what you would like or what you want. And I think that's okay, because if you end up putting aside your opinion and not ever voicing it, I don't think it makes for an honest relationship. Honesty is the best policy. And I know it sounds corny as heck to say it, but I really do feel that way. And yeah, so hopefully I was able to help you out with that. I know I got a little tongue-tied there for just a second, but yeah, I think that's very, very awesome. And once again, congratulations. I wish you and your fiance the most happiness in all the world. Most happiness. I didn't even say that correctly. All the happiness in all the world. My goodness. Okay, so that is it, you guys. That is it for Minks Monday. I was able to answer some of the questions on the video. But yeah, so I will see you all tomorrow with my June favorites. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.